Tom Brady was born on August 3, 1977, in San Mateo, California, the only son among 4 children in a devout Catholic household. His childhood unfolded under the California sun, just a short drive from Candlestick Park, the home of the San Francisco 49ers. There, a young Tom fell in love with football, idolizing the legendary Joe Montana. Watching Montana perform magic on the field wasn't just entertainment. It was inspiration. Even as a boy, Tom wasn't the biggest, fastest, or most athletic kid around. But what he lacked in physical gifts, he made up for with a fiery competitiveness and unshakable work ethic. He hated losing, not in backyard games, not in schoolyard races, and not even in friendly contests with his sisters. Every game was a battle to win. That burning desire to outwork everyone would follow him for the rest of his life. Brady attended Junipero Serra High School, the same school that produced baseball superstar Barry Bonds. He started as a backup quarterback on the freshman football team, and only got his chance to play because the starting QB quit the team. But once he got that chance, he never looked back. He studied the game obsessively, built up his arm strength, and learned to read defenses with growing confidence. By the time he graduated, he was not only making waves in football but also drawing interest from Major League Baseball scouts. In fact, the Montreal Expos drafted him as a catcher in the 1995 MLB draft. But Tom had already made up his mind. He would follow his heart to the football field, enrolling at the University of Michigan to chase his dream of becoming a quarterback. His college journey was anything but glamorous. At Michigan, Brady found himself buried on the depth chart, far from the spotlight. For 2 years, he barely saw the field, overshadowed by more hyped recruits, including Drew Henson, a golden boy with a rocket arm and all the promise in the world. Brady considered transferring, frustrated by the lack of opportunity. But instead, he chose to stay and fight. He spent endless hours in the film room, trained relentlessly, and slowly earned the respect of his coaches and teammates. By his junior year, he became the starting quarterback, leading Michigan to 2 10-win seasons and a thrilling Orange Bowl victory. Yet, despite his on-field success and clear mental toughness, NFL scouts remained unimpressed. They doubted his arm strength, athleticism, and upside. He didn't look like a star. He didn't run fast. He didn't wow in workouts. At the 2000 NFL Combine, Brady's performance was underwhelming. His 40-yard dash was slow. His body lacked the lean, muscular frame of a prototypical quarterback. His throwing session failed to turn heads. And so, on draft day, he waited. One quarterback after another was taken. 6 quarterbacks were selected before him. Finally, with the 199th overall pick in the 6th round, the New England Patriots called his name. Most would have felt dejected, drafted so late, dismissed by nearly every team. But not Brady. He used it as fuel. He arrived in New England determined to prove every doubter wrong. As a rookie, he was low on the depth chart behind Drew Bledsoe, a respected veteran and Pro Bowler. Brady didn't get much playing time, but he made an immediate impression behind the scenes. He worked harder than anyone, studied relentlessly, and carried himself with quiet confidence. When he introduced himself to team owner Robert Kraft, he reportedly said, "I'm Tom Brady, and I'm the best decision this organization has ever made." It sounded bold at the time, but history would prove him right. Everything changed in 2001. In week 2 of the season, Drew Bledsoe suffered a brutal hit that left him hospitalized. Suddenly, the Patriots had no choice but to turn to their unknown second-year backup. Brady stepped in and calmly took command. He didn't put up huge numbers, but he was efficient, poised, and unshaken under pressure. Week after week, he led the Patriots to victory. He earned the trust of teammates and the admiration of coaches. By the end of the season, he had guided New England to the Super Bowl, facing the heavily favored St. Louis Rams, known as the greatest show on turf. With the game tied and just over a minute remaining, Brady led a clutch drive that set up the game-winning field goal. The Patriots won. Tom Brady was a Super Bowl champion, and the NFL had a new star. Over the next 2 decades, Brady redefined greatness. He won 3 Super Bowls in his first 4 seasons as a starter. He became known for his laser-sharp focus, tireless preparation, an unmatched ability to perform under pressure. Alongside head coach Bill Belichick, he helped build the most dominant dynasty the league had ever seen. The Patriots became a model of consistency, always in contention, always dangerous. Brady's preparation bordered on obsession. He watched more film than anyone. He maintained a strict diet and workout regimen. He developed one of the fastest releases in football, able to diagnose defenses in seconds and get the ball out before they could react. But the road wasn't always smooth. In 2007, Brady led the Patriots to a perfect 16-0 regular season, throwing a then-record 50 touchdown passes, many to his new star receiver Randy Moss. The team looked unstoppable. But in the Super Bowl, they were shocked by the New York Giants in one of the most memorable upsets in sports history, punctuated by David Tyree's miraculous helmet catch. The perfect season was gone, and Brady was left devastated. Then, in 2008, more adversity struck. In the first quarter of the first game, Brady suffered a torn ACL. Just like that, he was out for the season. Some wondered if he'd ever be the same. But Brady returned with a vengeance. Over the next several years, he put up monster numbers, won MVP awards, and led the Patriots to more division titles. He was older, smarter, and somehow even more driven. His game had evolved, less reliant on deep throws, more surgical and efficient. In 2016, controversy found him in the form of Deflategate, an investigation into the alleged deflation of footballs in an AFC championship game. Brady was suspended for 4 games. Critics questioned his legacy. But when he returned, he did what he always did: silenced the noise with greatness. That season ended with one of the most unbelievable comebacks in sports history. In Super Bowl 51 against the Atlanta Falcons, the Patriots trailed 28-3 late in the third quarter. Most teams would have folded. Brady did not. With precision, poise, and belief, he led drive after drive, tying the game and forcing overtime. On the first possession of OT, he marched the Patriots down the field and won the game. It was the largest comeback in Super Bowl history, and Brady's 5th ring. By this point, there was no denying it: Brady was the GOAT. He kept going. At age 40, he led the league in passing yards. At 41, he won his 6th Super Bowl in a low-scoring duel with the Rams. But behind the scenes, tension was growing in New England. The long partnership with Belichick was fraying. After 20 years, Brady became a free agent for the first time. Many thought he would retire. Instead, he signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that hadn't made the playoffs in 13 years. It was a bold move, and many doubted he could win without Belichick. But Brady once again proved them wrong. Surrounded by weapons like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and joined by old friend Rob Gronkowski, he led the Bucs to the playoffs. On the way to the Super Bowl, he beat Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and then Patrick Mahomes. At age 43, he won his 7th Super Bowl, more than any single NFL franchise. It was a triumph of will, leadership, and belief. Even into his mid-40s, Brady kept competing at an elite level. In 2021, he led the league in passing yards and touchdowns. He showed no signs of decline, but time eventually catches up. In early 2022, he announced his retirement, only to return 40 days later for one final season. That year, he took the Buccaneers back to the playoffs and set more records. Then, in early 2023, he retired again, this time for good. Tom Brady's journey is one of the greatest stories in sports. From a skinny 6th-round pick to a 7-time Super Bowl champion. From overlooked to untouchable. He wasn't the fastest or strongest. He didn't have the flashiest style, but he had unmatched heart, discipline, and an obsession with winning. He rewrote the record books, inspired generations, and left a legacy that will echo through football forever. He became more than a quarterback. He became a symbol of possibility, of perseverance, of what happens when you never stop believing in yourself. In a sport built on violence, strategy, and teamwork, Tom Brady rose above all others. His name is etched into history, not just as a champion but as the greatest to ever play the game. And when future generations talk about football legends, they'll start with one name: Tom Brady.